Two things I don't know how to do. I don't know how to make an arched roof, and I've never made a footing of any kind for anything. Everything I've built has always been something that moves, and it's had a flat roof. So this episode is going to be me taking a couple of field trips to figure out how to build a roof. And that's a hurricane. Okay. And it just stops the roof from being ripped off.
Yeah. Helps.
Okay.
Helps.
Another time, another place, coming to you from the Tennessee River in Tennessee. What are you doing? You're getting rained on, man. Get back in the house. I am really starting to enjoy rainy mornings and rainy days on this boat. It's so dry and warm. And just to sit here and watch everything happen outside, it's really just the river going by. And there's never any people out when it's raining like this. So this is a barge going upriver. It is going to have to yield and give way to the barge coming downriver because they can't cross under the bridges together. This is the third time I've seen this where one has to, he's about to ram the barge up into shore and just kind of park the boat. And then this one's going to come through and they're going to take turns going underneath the ridge. Now, they're going to make the whole place really wavy in that whole process. So I'm going to wait a little bit before I take my boat back to the marina because tomorrow and the next couple of days we got some pretty cool stuff going on land. I don't know, buddy. It's pretty early. Do I get up? Okay. Alright, let's get up. Okay. Took a puppy. I took a puppy. So I run him to go potty, and then I leave him out on the dock while I come in here and play with my cat. The river always interrupts play time. And she needs a good 15-20 minutes of playing every morning. This is the best. Do you see how he's sitting in the doorway wagging his tail? You would think, oh, this dog wants to come in, but watch. He really just wants me to come out. You gonna come inside? You wanna come inside? No? Okay, let's go play. Let's go check for birds. Look at, there might be otters down here, River. Go check for otters. He's such a good puppy. It's easy to wake up to these two. They're always in such a good mood in the morning. Yep, now that is the sun. Coming up. It's going to be sunny today. The dreaded private road, no trespassing. The only difference is I know who owns the road. So let's go. I got my pickup truck back and I'm so excited. It was $1,000 less than what we had thought it was going to be because I didn't have to do the wheel bearings. And of course the first thing I'm going to do is hook it up to a really big trailer and haul not that much wood over to the property so we can get started on building that deck next to the back of the RV in order to take outside showers. So it'll be a convenient deck that we can move around if we need to in case we move the RV or something. Alright, we just dropped off another load of wood. "6:30 in the morning. I'm excited. I'm going to head over to Jennifer and Jamie's property and we're going to start putting up the roof on one of these homes. The two of them bought a neighborhood, not just one house. They bought the neighborhood and they're building each house one at a time. Then they sell them off to make a new neighbor after they've designed the property, the footings, the foundations, the inside. And the best part is they mill wood from their property to do a lot of the accent and a lot of the detail woodworking. Look at the house that's been finished here, and all of that wood has been milled from this property. These are the rafters that we're putting up. I feel like they're not called rafters. I'm gonna figure out what the actual name of them are. Trusses, maybe? Is my guess. But you buy them, you tell them how long you want them and how high you want them, and they make them. And then they drop them off in a truck. And then a truck with a crane is going to come help us put them up. All right, so the trusses, there's only 2 sets. It's not 3 sets. This small packet is the top to this truss. It just would be too wide to travel on the highway, or too tall to travel on the highway if they put it all together like that. Very cool. So basically, they're just getting everything ready, and we're waiting for a crane operator. Well, I might as well walk you through the house, right? Okay, well, that's the garage. That's Angel, and that's Jamie. These windows are interesting windows, like you would think. Why would they have it up there? Why would they have it here? A couple of things have to happen. One, he buys windows from a very specific guy that makes, they don't open. They're just solid glass, triple pane windows. So he tells them what size he wants them and gets them made, which is really cool. Does this house have a well, or is it rain catchment system too?
It's a well.
It's a well, okay. And this is the view that him and Jennifer picked to make for this house. So they're making their whole neighborhood. I wish I could, I'll show you an aerial view. But they own a little bit over 100 acres, and they built their own road, and they build a house a year. And this is how they make a living. And so they get to decide what the houses in their neighborhood look like, and where they're placed, and where the driveways start, and where the property sizes are. And then they sell it they own the road too, so they actually sell an easement for the person to use their road to come to the house. So it's their private road as well. Very cool. So this is all the master bedroom. Huge bedroom right here. And then the master bathroom and the walk-in closet. So it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, all 1 level, no stairs to get in.
That way it'll already be laid out for Angel. That way he can.
That part's where you put the board?
Yeah, the truss.
The truss, okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is not a basement. It is a crawl space, and essentially it is a foundation to make a level surface for the house to be built on. It's not functional other than that, and there's a lot of time and effort to put into this because they're on a hill, but other than that, that's all it does. One of the things I didn't do when I was building my houseboat was I put up a lot of the walls and I didn't put any plywood on. You can't do that. The walls are very unstable without plywood. So that's why they put the first 2 courses on before they're putting the roof on. I learned that the hard way by actually watching the wind tip my houseboat around. Okay, look at this joint. This is one of the things I didn't do in my houseboat that I need to do. The 2x4 on the bottom stops at the wall. The 2x4 on the top goes the other way around. 2x4 at the bottom goes all the way through. Then the top one, they interlock, which means they're tying them in. I don't know the best way to describe it, but you see that? And then they went through and marked the lines for the trusses all the way through. So it's just going to be a matter of putting them up right when they come in. think they're checking to see if they can reach all the way back. So basically we're moving the truck so we can reach the other half of the house. So as it's coming in, Angel's putting that top bracing right in there, that little 2-foot board. These are on 2 feet apart. And then I'm nailing the back line along, and Jamie's nailing the front. Now Jamie's also measuring that they are 2 feet overhang on that side, which gives us a 2-foot. I don't know what the overhang on the back is, but it gives us an even overhang on the back. This is, I've learned like 4 or 5 things that I'm gonna do in my tiny house that I didn't do in my boat. And that's a hurricane
tie.
Okay, and it just stops the roof from being ripped off.
Yeah. Helps.
Okay.
Helps.
Always gotta do it.
Yeah, buddy.
Why they are moving and leveling this crane, Jamie is going through and making more of those 12-foot 2x4s that we looked at in the beginning, where he's marking 2 feet apart, and Angel is actually putting them in, connecting 6 rafters to each other at 4 or 5 different places along the line between the rafters, and those are what's making it be sturdy. It is at this point that we finish half of the roof, move the truck, and we're going to do the other half. There's a lot going on. There's just a lot going on. This is why they make 3500s. And no, I didn't think of towing it with my truck at all. So their first pass at this, they do exactly what I did when I was pulling out the bigger truck. I got my strap tight and went. The second pass at this, they do it way more organized and better, and this is the way you do it. Basically, they back the big truck up and the tow truck up. They make the chain tight, and then they take off together with a rolling start, and then both vehicles are able to pull through where the truck is spinning, basically. And that is the way you should tow things out. From now on, that is how I'm going to tow things out. Back everything up, tighten it all up, and then take off together, get momentum together, and overcome the obstacle when you hit it, once the momentum's built up. Well, the American dream is absolutely true. This couple has been together since high school, and he's been working on framing crews since freshman year in high school. He's running a crew, run his own company, and they have designed these houses together, purchased this huge plot of land together, and basically decided to make their own neighborhood with their house sitting on the mountain on the top. I'm sitting back in my marina. It's beautiful. I've had my nice dinner. I'm amazed. I'm going to bed. Are we going to the property? Are you excited? You look excited. Alright, my plan is to use the 2x6s. I'm going to do a 4-foot by 6-foot little platform, and I'm not going to mount it to anything. I want to set it next to the RV and move it anytime the RV moves to just kind of just going to be something that you can shower on. And eventually I'll put some kind of wall around it in case someone drives down here once in a blue moon or something while you're showering, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. Some kind of privacy thing, but we'll get to that next. I'm going through the boards and figuring out which ones. This one, for instance, has, if you take a little bit off this end, you're fine. And if you take, what is this, probably a foot off here, you get rid of the nuts. So this will be a 6-foot board, but there are some that are bad, so I'll make those into the 4-foot boards. So that's what we're doing now. So let's look at this piece of wood right here. Honestly, I would use this piece and not even cut this part off, except for this chip right here. See how it's going way down here? If we cut it off here, it's a solid board and that whole chip isn't missing. If that was just missing and it wasn't like split right here, I wouldn't cut it off. And then obviously this broke from the flood, so this board is screaming to be a 4-foot board. Perfect 4-foot board, horrible looking 7.5-foot board. So that's pretty much what we're doing, is going through and finding the best part of it. So I'm going to cut half of the difference off there and then right there. So.
Why drink the water from my hand? Contagious as you think I am. Just took my son to of the man. You can't run it over again. Don't scream aloud, don't think aloud. Turn your head now, baby, just spit me out. Don't worry about, don't speak about. Turn your head now, baby, just spit me out. Follow me to higher ground. Lost as you swear I am. Don't throw away your basic needs. Ambience and vanity. Down baby, just spin me out. Don't worry about, don't speak about. Turn your head now, baby, just spin me out. Don't scream about, don't think about. Turn your head now, baby, just spin me out.
$31. That's all I paid for the deck. Hey, look at how this dog acts. Look at that. I guess that. River. Calm down, dude. So handsome. You're so handsome. My dog's jealous already. He hasn't even smiled at you, and my dog's jealous. One of the main limits to this truck, because it's a 4-door short bed, even with the tailgate open, 8 feet is about. Okay. 8 feet is about as long a wood as you can get in it. Once you get in a 10-foot wood, the weight of the wood off of the off of the back of the truck is almost as much as the weight inside, so it starts to teeter. Even strapping it down starts to be a problem, which is why you use trailers when you're doing a bunch of wood. If you have a long board, you can open up that window and you can put it through. Maybe even like 6 or 7. I could probably get these all the way through that board. But the reason I'm saying that, these boards only come in 8 foot, 12 foot, and 16. My deck is 4 by 6. So I had to get the 8-foot ones, which is why my deck is only 4 foot wide. If I got the 12-foot ones, they wouldn't fit in my truck. I'd have to borrow a trailer. If it was 6 foot by 6 foot, that's what I'd have to do. So this is what we're at. And I bought extra. I don't know why I bought an extra board, but I did, just in case something happened, I guess. Tailgate workshop. Works every time. Works every time. All right, so first thing I did, because I have messed up more than once in my life, is I took the first board that I cut and I made sure that it fit properly. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go lay out all of the boards before I screw one of them down, just so I get this right. I want to know how, I don't think they're exactly 6 inches. I think they're 5 and something. So the gap I got to figure out. And then I'll screw it down, and it's too cold to shower right now, but otherwise I would shower. I have 3 screws left in the box of screws that I bought for this project. And the width of the boards is 5.5 inches. And so in my mind, I thought, well, I'll leave a 1/2 inch gap between each board. And that way it'll make it so the water will go through faster when I shower on here. But when I made the deck, I put these boards on the outside, which added an extra 3 inches. So you would have to do the 1/2 inch plus the original 3 inches. And essentially it made room to put another board in, which I'm glad that I bought a 7th board and used it. Then some of them are warped, like this one is really badly warped, and I'm gonna take a hammer and kind of move it to align it better. But other than that, everything's kind of coming out good. So that's better. Now, just so you can see how quickly these drills nowadays put a screw in. It's pretty insane, huh? Alright, the deck is done. I like how it's a mix of it. Actually, like, it looks good. It's square. Everything's cut right. But because it's held up by, you know, busted old logs that I just chainsawed, it looks like it's still off grade. You know? I like it. It's very sturdy. They make little suction cups where I can stick this right on the side of the RV. Right here. Don't spill my coffee, buddy. And it goes right here. And then the hot and the cold water is right there. And I'm showering outside. Perfect. Alright, there's the finished product right now where it stands. The black door right there opens up and that's where the shower comes out. I have $31 is what I spent for that so far. And then I am going to go back to the island and grab the floorboards from the deck that I was walking on a couple episodes ago and use them. They're too weak to use for floorboards now, but they can be fencing. So I'm going to build a fence around that part of it so when you go by on the road you won't be able to see me. And while I'm back at the, now that I know how to like measure out the decking and know how I'm going to build the deck, I can pre-plan this deck. So if I make it 10 feet wide, right? So this board is 11 feet. So there'll be 6 inches on either side of that board that I can put the hookups to the tree and then get to and retighten whenever I need to, you know, every 4 months or whatever when the trees move. So I do 10-inch board all the way around all 4 sides, right? I have enough to do that. So I can do, it's not 8 foot, it would be 7'5", 7'6" wide, 10 feet by 7.6. But we're going to put the big boards on the outside, so that's going to add an extra 3 inches. So it'll make it almost 8 foot, and then we'll have the deck boards hang over 1.5 inches on either side, which will make it 8 foot by 10 foot deck. All right. The reason I'm doing that is because all of the boards that I collected that are the 6-inch ones are 7.5 feet. So I have to work with that. I could cut it to a 6-foot deck and just buy other boards, but the extra 2 feet is going to be better. So I have to go back to the island and get one more of these boards. While I'm there, I'm going to grab a bunch of the fencing that was the flooring and use it for the fence. So next episode, hopefully we're going to start this deck. We're going to scavenge some more wood and we're going to build a fence around the other bathroom deck. And kind of get this place, I don't know, looking like someone lives here. I'm excited. Are you excited? For some dogs, fetch is not merely a game. It is a way of life.